Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. Now this video will be coming after Thanksgiving, so for those of you who celebrate, I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving, and for everyone else, I hope you had an amazing day. So I wanted to sit down in this video and talk about my most favorite holiday makeup that I've tried so far. I know there has been a ton of makeup coming out for the holidays, all kinds of different sets. So many eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, lip products, anything you can think of, it's coming out. So I just wanted to do this video where I'm just mentioning a couple of my top favorites of the products that I have tried so far. These are some that I feel like they are definitely worth checking out if you are interested, if you are looking to buy during the holidays for yourself or a friend, for anyone in your life. I think these are some perfect options to do so. I'm going to start with eyeshadow palettes because eyeshadow is really what I love the most, that and blush. So I do have a few options here that I feel like stand out, the ones that I've tried thus far. Now, the Makeup by Mario, the Ethereal Eyes palette, I'm not sure if that's his holiday palette or not. If it is, then that would definitely be included as well, but I'm not sure if that's considered a holiday palette, but if it is, then definitely that one. But the ones that I know for sure are, of course, this one, the ColourPop and Rudolph eyeshadow palette. I mean, this palette, I've fallen in love with this palette. I've been wearing it a ton since I got it. I do have a video on this palette, so if you want to see me using every shade in the palette, I will have that link for you above. And then while we're talking about ColourPop, I also want to mention their little sets that they put out at Target for the holidays. And one of the sets they had, now each eyeshadow palette comes with a liner, so this one just comes with a black creme gel liner. This one is their Out All Night eyeshadow palette. I'm really surprised that I love this one as much as I do. I figured that I would love the more rosy neutral one that they put out, but this one, just something about these really pretty gray tones, I don't know, I really like this palette. So this is definitely the one I would recommend checking out. And maybe you're like me and you don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes that have a color scheme like this, so I think that's an excellent option. They have some sets with the Super Shock shadows. This one is Ice Dream. And the Griffith, these are more of like these really pretty cool tone eyeshadows. There again, I have a whole video on these, so I won't spend too much time on them. So if you want to check that out, like I said, I will have that link for you. And the last one is this one from Lawless, the Dreamy Dozen eyeshadow palette. This is just the most perfect staple palette that you can possibly have in your collection. I have a whole video on this palette testing out all of the shades, so if you want to see that video, I have live swatches and everything, but I really do love this one as well. I think this, if you are a neutral lover, this is definitely a good palette to check out. I really think they should make this one permanent. So those are like more of the eyeshadow products that I would recommend, and I'm going to be doing a look with this ColourPop palette. I did a look for my Instagram recently using this palette. I just used this deep green. I'll pop it over here somewhere so you can see what I'm talking about. But I did use this light also in a line above the lash line, and I really like the way that looks, so I'm going to be doing that again today. But before I do that, I'm going to go in with the shade Mush Mush on a fluffy eye blender brush from e.l.f. And I'm going to really just put that kind of all in the crease, just to add a little bit of some dimension there, because I'm just going to be doing a really simple line above the lash line. We're keeping this very simple. I really like the way that ended up looking when I did that look for Instagram. Now, of course, there was more to that look, as you saw, but I just really like that part of it, so I want to recreate that look again, or at least part of it, I should say. But I didn't do this step in that look. I don't even know if this shade, I'm just using a really light hand with this shade, so I'm not sure if it's even showing up on camera, but in person, it's just a really light shade to put in my crease. I'm just going to go ahead and do that on this eye as well. I usually don't show me doing both eyes when I do like the same look on both eyes, so I figured I'd include it this time, but just... this is going to be a very simple look, and this would be a perfect look for the holidays. And I thought it might be kind of cute because I'm wearing a red sweater today and then have like green on the eyes, like red and green. Thought that would be like a pretty little festive look. Also, if you're curious about the earrings, they're little bells. They come from Walmart, but I got them last year, so I'm not sure if they brought them back, but I know that the Walmart closest to me, they have some of the earrings that they had last year too, so if you were curious about these, they might have them again. Okay, then I'm just going to take the shade Christmassy Time Now, the little brush I'm using, it looks like this right here. This is actually a paint brush. It comes from Walmart in like a set of brushes that look like this. And it's just a really, really teeny little brush like that. I think it's perfect for liner. But I mean, any little small angled brush will do. You can definitely use what you want. You don't have to use what I'm using if you are following along. But I used this yesterday and I thought it worked out really well. So all I did was start tracing along, and I kept going back in because I took a small amount each time because I didn't want to get a lot of fallout. So definitely keep going back in and building that shade up, but if I can get just like a little outline. And then just continuing to build that shade up till I get the level of depth that I want it to be. And you can make this line as thick or as thin as you want. I do have a pair of false eyelashes that I'm going to be wearing today, so I might end up having to take this a little bit higher just in case, but for right now I'm going to keep it about right here. This eye is a little bit harder for me to do, so this one might not be as even. And that's literally all for right now for the eyes. I do have one more step I'm going to be doing a little bit later in the video, but for now this is everything, just this simple dark green line above the lash line. Okay, for mascara, if you've watched some of my last videos, you know I've been talking about this combo, which is the Better Than Sex Foreplay Mascara Primer, and then of course the Better Than Sex Mascara. So I've really been loving the two of these together. And I saw they had this set. I think you can get this at both Sephora and Ulta. And I believe on Ulta at the time I'm filming this, and I don't know if it still be when I actually upload this video, this set was half off. But they included, this was a set called the Sexy Lips and Lashes set from Too Faced. I can kind of and get it to focus. And it just comes with a full size of their Better Than Sex mascara and then a full size of their lip injection, the Maximum Plump. I did want to point that out. I love both the mascara and the lip injections. Now I know the lip injections are hit or miss for some people. Some people really love them and some people don't. I'd like them. I know they hurt, but I do enjoy them. So I just wanted to mention that since I've been loving this combo so much, that you can get a full size in like the holiday kit if you like that and the lip injection. But I'm not going to wear the primer today. I'm just going to do a little bit of just the mascara because I do have a pair of lashes I'm going to be putting on. And the lashes are actually Halloween lashes, but I found them at Walmart. They were in their little clearance aisle, and these are the Spooky Fairy, the Trick or Pink lashes, and I think it's called Fascinated. So I thought they were a cute little style. And actually on the eyes, when I wore the same pair for that look I did for Instagram, they look really natural on the eyes. Like they didn't look too over the top. So I will be putting those on, so I'm going to do that right quick. And then I'll be right back to move on to the next step. Okay, that's what these lashes look like. They're just really pretty lashes. Like even though they're Halloween, they're more on the simple side, which is something I really love. So this is what we got going on right now with the eyes, but there is one more thing I'm going to add, but I wanted to discuss it in a different category. So, all right, let me just zoom you out to there. Now, for the rest of my face, since I don't have anything holiday related to concealer or foundation, I just use the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. Mine is in the shade Y1. I did purchase this during the Sephora savings event, and so far I'm really liking it. I've been using it as foundation, and I think it works really beautifully for that. And then I just set my T-zone with my Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder. I hit pan in this one. This is my second one of these, and I hit pan in this one. I really do love this powder because it's not too like cakey looking on the skin. I feel like you can't pick up a large amount of this, like there's no risk of over applying it, so I do like that about it. So for the face, I have several options here that I've really been loving. And one, I do have a video on this already, so I won't there again go into too much detail with this one. But of course the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked. This is the Owl one, which The owl is like the customizable one from their website, and then this is Color Story 1, which if you bought them like the way they came, this is the jellyfish one. I did purchase this one when it launched on launch day, and I really have been loving this one. And if you watched that video, I mentioned that that was going to be the only one I was going to buy. Apparently, I'm a liar, because during this sale, I bought the second one, which is, this one is for like more, I think, light to medium skin tones, or just medium skin tones. This one is the leopard. And honestly, I have really been loving this. I love the blushes in this one. I just think this is such a really pretty, well-rounded palette. So this is going to be the one I'm going to be using on my face today. But I have one more face palette that I want to mention as well. And this palette was such a hassle to get. It's the Patrick Ta. This is the Major Holiday Face Palette. And as you know, this one has the 4 different blushes, and it also has the eyeshadows in it. Well, talk about a journey to get this palette. First of all, I have learned my lesson. I definitely will be buying, if he does a third one for next year, I will definitely be buying it on launch day. I decided to wait and purchase this during the sale. Well, it kept going in and out of stock, and on the first day of the sale, I had to wait because it had gone out of stock again. It finally, I kept getting alerts all throughout the day, and I think Sephora was having issues with their app that day. I think that's when all the trouble started. I kept getting alerts that it would come into stock, then it'd go back out, then it'd come in. I finally managed to purchase it through their website. And then I was worried that when it got here, it would be broken, because I know some people mentioned that the eyeshadow portion had arrived broken because they're like really softly pressed or something like that. They're mostly just like a loose pigment, like little glitter. Well, mine came and it wasn't broken, but there was something else wrong with it. They included this powder blush twice. So we had a little factory error going on here. Same blush 2 times. So I contacted customer service, and you can tell that this doesn't happen very often, because now they were very sweet and they were able to solve my problems quickly. But you can tell that they didn't know how to respond to this. And I had sent them a picture, and I showed them that it was included twice. So I got my money back, but then I was sad because I didn't have the palette. Luckily, went to the Sephora in my Kohl's, and they had the tester sitting up there, but they were out of stock of the palette. It just so happened that one of the women working in Sephora came over and asked, if we needed any help. I was with my mom. We were doing some holiday shopping. And she asked the lady if they happened to have any more. And she opened the drawer, and there were 2 left, so I managed to finally get this palette, the right one with the right blush shade. This was a journey for this palette, but I'm so happy that I now have it. But lesson learned, I will not be buying it during the sale next year. If he comes out with a 4th one, I'll be buying it on launch day. But for this palette, I'm not going to be using the blushes in here because I feel like I don't want these tones with this. So I thought about just taking one of the little topper shades over here and just adding it to my eye look. So let me zoom you back in here. And then if I'm reading it correctly, I'm going to just take the shade In the Spotlight. Now, these are pretty much nothing but glitters. Like, not like chunky glitter, but just like scattered, I can show you here, like scattered sparkles. Not like full glitter, just like little, loose kind of sparkle shades. So I'm just going to add that a little bit to my look. Just for a little bit of effect, because I did want to use this palette today as well, because I do, if you can find it, I definitely recommend it, but I don't know if it's back in stock or not, and I believe Patrick Ta had already removed it from his website, so if you can find it, then yes, definitely, but if not, but I like that. I love these little sparkly little shades like this that you can just randomly add to a look, and I think they add so much to a look. Just some little sparkle, and perfect for the holidays in case you want to add a little bit of some shimmer to your lid. But I'm not going to be using the rest of these. These blush tones I don't think really go with this. So I'm going to be using the leopard one here, which is just the Color Story 2. Now these brushes right here are both the brushes I'm going to be using are from Betsey Johnson. This was from a holiday set from last year. It was at Walmart, so there's no name like on the brush like what they are, but they're just kind of like, this one's kind of a little bit bigger, and then this one has more of an angle. I use this one more so for powder and bronzer, and the other one I use for highlighter and blush. Now for me, I just take this shade, and this shade, which would be, we got Finishing Powder and Dim Light. This would be the Metallic Strobe Powder in Celestial Strobe Light. And then the bronzer in Lustrous Bronze Light. I've just been mixing all three of those together. I think this just makes a really pretty bronzer shade on me. It's not too much. I was afraid that this palette would be too dark for me, but honestly, with how these powders are baked, I don't feel like you'd have an issue with that. Honestly, I really did want it more so because I do love the leopard on the front, and I saw a video the other day with someone using this one, and I just thought it was just the prettiest packaging. Now, they had a different color story on the inside, but I just thought the packaging was so pretty, and I ended up buying this one during the sale. And I don't regret it. I really don't. I know I said I weren't going to do that because these palettes are very expensive, but I love these palettes. I think these powders are really nice. So if you're looking to splurge and maybe you don't have a lot of Hourglass's palettes in the past, then I think these are some good options. But now, if you have a ton of their individual powders or any of these palettes from the years before, well then, you know, there's not going to be much of a difference. But if you don't have a lot, I think they're nice. If you've watched some of my videos in the past, then you'll know this. If this is a new video for you, I don't ever really put bronzer here much. I like to save this part for blush. I just like for blush to be the focal point here, so I don't ever really bring my bronzer down unless I'm doing a specific look. So then I'm just going to mix all three of these blushes, which are, we have the blush in Mood Exposure right here. Then we have the Iridescent Rose Blush, and then the Ethereal Flush Blush. So I've just been mixing all three of them together on that Betsey Johnson, that more angled brush, and then just applying it like that. And I think all three of them together create such a pretty blush when you just mix them. And they're pretty on their own as well, don't get me wrong, but I just love mixing them because I like the idea of using every shade in the palette, and that's one reason why I feel like this is such a well-rounded palette, even for me, because I'm using every shade in the palette. Just like I do with the one, the Color Story one that's really made for fair skin, that one I use every shade as well, and I like that. I like being able to use every shade because I feel like that makes it more worth the money. I went in probably a little bit too much here, but I'll take some powder over that in a second. But these shades together are so stunning. I honestly think I like the blushes in this one more than I do the one in the Owl. I love the blushes in that one as well, don't get me wrong, but there's something about these three. They're just so pretty. Go back over right here in the center with my Rimmel powder. So pretty. I mean, that's just such a darling blush that the three of those mixed together make. I feel like you're probably definitely seeing this middle shade the most because that one to me has the most pigment, but I think it's just so pretty. And you see that really pretty glow, like you don't even need a highlighter. Okay, the last category here are lips, and I've only really tried just a few lip kits, and my favorite is definitely the one from the ColourPop and Rudolph collection. This is Clarice's lip set, which is just this really pretty nude. Now, I know that with a look like this, you know, it's really holiday. You could go in with a red lip. I'm not a red lip person. This is Clarice's set. I just love that so much. This is definitely a shade that I could wear every single day, and I would be perfectly fine with that. Now, if you are into more of a dark red lip, then the Rudolph lip kit would be the way to go, but I'm not a wearer of red lipstick. I don't mind wearing, you know, red sweaters, red earrings, or anything like that, but just something about a red lip, it's just not for me. So I'm going to be applying Clarice's lip kit, but also wanted to talk about these two little sets. Now, one is an exclusive to Ulta, and one is for Sephora. The one from Ulta is the Too Faced Plump and Glow, which this has 3 of like the lip injections. We have the Extreme, the Maximum Plump, no, 2 of the Maximum Plump, and one of them is a limited edition shade in Gumdrop. Now, I know that people either love or hate these. I know they are painful. They hurt. I love them. I really enjoy them. So I picked up both of these kits. And then this one is the one from, I think this is the Ulta one. I think, this was the Sephora one. This one was the Ulta one. This one is the Plump and Pretty Kisses lip set. And then it comes with the original, the Cotton Candy Kisses, and then the Holiday Party set, which I think both of those might be limited edition. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that, and I'll pop it up here on the screen for you when I look that up. But I picked up both of these little sets. They're just some little cute minis. I think they're darling. But I'm going to apply them over the top of the Clarice lip kit, so I'm going to apply that first. I'm just going to... I should have prepped my lips a little more before I did this. I was not thinking. That's okay, because I'm about to put like a gloss over the top. But that's the lip liner by itself. And there's her lip set. So pretty. This is definitely like my just perfect everyday kind of shade. I love it with the blush here, and I love this color with the green on the lid. I just think that's so pretty. Now, yes, it would be much more festive if you went with a red lip, but this is definitely more my vibe. So now I think I'm going to go in. This is the set from Ulta. I've already been using these, but I put them back in the box for the video. So I'm just going to take the shade Cotton Candy Kisses, which looks just like that. I'm not going to swatch these on my hand because they will burn my skin. Just going to put them over the top. I don't know if it'll start really stinging since I put it over something else. I don't really ever wear these over the top of something. I usually use these as my lip prep. Yeah, I feel a little bit of tingle. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. So, okay, so it will still, I didn't know. I said with something like creating a barrier, it might not really sting as much, but no, I can feel it a little bit. But it's not as intense, I should say. But now, I don't personally mind the intense sting. I like it. That makes me probably a weirdo, but I really do like these. So I thought these two little sets were really cute, and I think that if you were looking to try these and you are okay with the pain, I think these are some cute little sets, especially like if you're maybe doing little stocking stuffers. This is adorable. Okay, but that is some of the holiday makeup that I have really been truly enjoying. I just think this creates such a pretty look, and I love the eye look because it's so simple, but just that sparkle, I just think that just adds just that little bit of glitter, like when you turn your head in the light. Just so pretty. I just wanted to mention some of my top favorites. I know that the holidays, so much is releasing, it can be so overwhelming. I know that I'm overwhelmed myself just looking at all the different stuff, so I just wanted to give a few favorites. I'm hoping that some of them will still be available. The only one that I'm kinda don't know is the Patrick Ta palette, but I know that that palette come out probably about a month or so ago, so most people probably have it by now, but you know, there again, you don't need any of this stuff if you are not interested at all. Never feel pressured to buy anything during this time of the year if you don't have to. I just really enjoy makeup. I love buying it and love testing it out, but I'm just here to have fun, to just discuss makeup and just have fun with it. I'm not here to sell anybody anything like that. But I do hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. And please make sure to follow me over on Instagram at Jessica Dearly, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!